Hello and welcome to Shorts. Today I'm going to demonstrate abstract classes and inheritance by modeling polygons. I'm going to start by making a new package in which I'm going to house my project. I'm just going to call this practice tree. Inside practice tree I'm going to make a new class which is going to house my main method. And I'm going to make a new class called Shapes. Now, Shapes is going to be an abstract class, and it's going to have two abstract methods which are going to be returning doubles called calculate perimeter and calculate area. And I'm just going to be going by the logic that you can calculate the perimeter and the area of every single shape in existence in some way or another. So this is going to be given for every single shape in existence. Now do note that if a class contains an abstract method, it is automatically turned into an abstract class. And also if a class is abstract, then you cannot make an instance of that class. But that's okay because we do not want to in this case. I'm going to make a new class called Polygon. And Polygon is going to be a special kind of shape. So I'm going to be able to say that Polygon extends shape. And when I use this extends keyword, Polygon is going to inherit the methods from its parent class. The calculate perimeter and the calculate area. But polygons are also going to have some characteristic variables, namely an integer n for the number of points it has, and a double radius for the distance between the outer points and the center of the shape. And in case of regular polygons, which I'm going to be modeling here, as I promised, radius is going to be equals for each point. Now I'm just going to have to write some mathematical equations, and I'm going to be setting them to doubles because I'm going to be using some built-in math functions from Java. And those work in doubles. So I'm going to use the following equation for calculating the perimeter. And this method is, or this equation is calculating the base of each triangle which a polygon is composed of, and then it's going to multiply that base by the amount of sides the polygon has. So I'm going to use the sine, map.sine, and I know that sine works in radians. So to make that work, I'm going to use pi, and actually the way the equation goes is 2 times map.pi for the 360 degrees divided by 2 times n. But I just simplified by 2 divided by 2 here. That's why it's a little bit simpler than you would expect. And then I am going to be returning perimeter, but I'm also going to want to print it so you could see the result. So I'm going to say that perimeter is equals to, and I'm going to concatenate perimeter. And I'm also going to be returning perimeter. Then for calculating the area, I'm going to make a double called area. And I'm going to be using the same logic here. I'm going to be calculating the area of each sub-triangle of the polygon. And that's going to look according to the following equation. Radius on the power of 2. And I'm going to multiply that by math dot sine. Actually, this has a built-in function for turning degrees into radians for this purpose, but I do not recommend using it because it has some weird rounding methods, which gave me weird results when I was trying to use very large numbers for n. So that's why I'm not using it. And now I'm going to say system.out area, and I'm going to concatenate our area double and return the area. We're getting an error. We forgot to concatenate. Alright, now all that remains is to create a polygon. And I'm going to start by making a square. For the sake of simplicity. And I can say the square extends polygon. So it's going to be inheriting. And I did forget to make a constructor for our polygon class. So I'm going to make that quickly. It is going to take a double radius, which we are going to set when we're making this object. This dot, and I'm just setting my class variable or instant variable equals to this radius parameter. And now my square method is going to ask for this constructor. And it's going to be inheriting the radius from its parent class. And underneath here, when creating this, I'm going to be able to set n equals to 4. And so every time I create this square object, it's going to set the n which it is inheriting from the polygon class to 4, which is the characteristic of the square. And now once this is done, I can go into my main method, and I'm going to be able to make a polygon called myPoly, and this is going to be a new square. I'm going to set the radius equals to 1 for the sake of simplicity, and then I'm going to be able to call our methods that we have inherited or are inheriting from the polygon class. And if I run this, we get the area of 2 and a perimeter of 5 point whatever. And you can imagine that if the radius of a square is 1, then the area will indeed be 2 units of area squared, and the perimeter is going to be 4 times square root 2, and that is indeed 5.6568 whatever. And I'm going to be making another polygon, and note that I can make any kind of polygon now which I possibly want. I can make a heptagon. I can say that heptagon extends polygon. I'm going to add the constructor, set n equals to 7, and instead of making a new square, I can make a new heptagon, set the radius equals to 1, or whatever number we need. And apparently this is the area and the perimeter of a heptagon. And now calculating this by hand is a bit difficult, or in head. So to make a more common polygon, I can actually make a new circle. And I can say a circle extends polygon. And I can add the constructor, and I can set n equals to the max value of an integer, and I am treating the circle as if it were a polygon with an infinite number of edges. In this case, just the max number of integer, which is 2.1 billion or something like that. So it's a large number and it's going to suit our purposes. And now if I go into main, I can just change the object that we're going to instantiating to a new circle of radius 1. And if I run this, these numbers, you can easily double check them. The area of a circle is radius squared times pi, and in case the radius is 1 times the square of 1 is 1 times pi, and pi is exactly this number, so we know that this number is correct. And the perimeter, or the circumference of a circle, is 2 times radius times pi, and this number is indeed 2 times radius, which is 1, so that's 2 times pi, and that is indeed this number. So we have created a correct method for calculating the area and the perimeter of all polygons. But that finishes my demonstration. I hope you find this useful, and thanks a lot for watching.